Victory or death!
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. Get ready? Prepare for blastoff.
Victory to Starfighters, my name is Carlin Jones, and this is a Starfighter full movie podcast. And today I'm going to be watching the 1989 teen classic, Heathers. Okay, so let's really talk about this movie. Let's really have a conversation about Molly. I even mixed them up. Let's have an honest conversation about Wionna Ryder. I was about to call her Molly Ringwald, but that's kind of where I wanted to go with this conversation. First off, I can't say that I've ever been a fan of Wionna Ryder. I've seen Edward Scissorhands, I've seen Beetlejuice, but it's been so long ago that it's just, I don't know if those movies still hold up today. And also, I feel that again, why do I keep calling her Molly Ringwald? Wionna Ryder. Wionna Ryder, maybe this is just me, but I felt like throughout her entire career, especially in the 80s, was completely like in the backseat. Not even in the backseat, like way at the back of the bus in terms of like all the other 80s actresses that kind of had their push, from Molly Ringwald, there you go, Jennifer Connelly to Diane Lane, like all these actresses that, I don't know, I guess Hollywood or the public just gravitated more towards them than they did for Wionna, which I don't understand why. I've been watching Stranger Things. I think she's great in it, even though I think the show is kind of mediocre in itself. I don't know. Just Molly Ringwald just, I don't know what it is. She just doesn't command that attention from me. And I guess for that reason, I've just never been interested to watch this movie. I've always heard about it. People were always talking about in terms of teen comedies in the 80s. They say this is up there. But again, I have to say this. I hate to be such a negative person. Maybe I'm the only person with this opinion, but I feel that a lot of those movies from the 80s, a lot of those classics are only classics because of the time period it came out. Those teen comedies that were just being pushed out at such a fast pace, it was like anything people have ever seen, to the point where it was part of a culture. It was part of I don't know. It's part of like the movie culture. So even all of Molly Ringwald movies weren't really good, in my opinion. Only Breakfast Club is really something worth watching. So again, I don't know if this movie's gonna hold up. I don't care if it holds up. I'm going into this with an open mind because I want to understand why people would consider this a classic, why people love Wionna Ryder, and I don't know why this is a good independent film, because I did read that this did make it onto the Sundance Festival in 1989. So with that said, let's get into it. So if you want to watch this movie along with me, where this is playing somewhere. It's such a classic. You can find this movie anywhere. You can watch it on DVD, follow along with me, but I will be watching this somewhere. Somewhere. So with that said, I'm going to be starting this movie in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. It already feels 80s. New World Pictures. Is that New World Pictures? Maybe I'm thinking of another company. New World Pictures, that doesn't exist anymore, does it? No, it can't. But this is all like indie companies. At least I think. Heathers. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. I wanted to call it Heathers for whatever reason. I'm an idiot. I literally cannot read. You know what? What I am expecting from this movie, though, I am expecting a good soundtrack. Even indie films can have a really good soundtrack. So I'm at least expecting at least one song throughout the film, where I'm going to be like, okay, I'm definitely going to go back and Shazam that. Yeah, this is such a popular film. I guess everyone kind of had their start from this. Even Wionna Ryder, this was pretty much like one of her early films, because I think she started in '88 and this is '89. So yeah, she definitely made a name for herself because of this film, or one of the reasons why. That's nice. I do love '80s films though. I think my favorite '80s film, well, I guess it had to be The Last Starfighter, right? Hint, hint. But I do like The Breakfast Club. I like 80s films. I feel like there's so much I just don't know what the name. Ah, so it is called Heathers. So they're all Heathers. Got it. Music by David Newman. Okay. Oh, Iona has not aged. I'm surprised. Don't when people like have friends that are like named the same name, don't they have like a nickname they give them, or maybe they just call them by their last name? I feel like that's a normal thing to do. Okay. Really wondering how this movie is gonna wow me. Thus far, its cinematography, it feels like it shoots. I feel like it's shot like a romantic comedy, like so plain. You know, isn't there like a desk? There's like a table. You just write on that. This movie definitely plays towards the tropes of what I guess a lot of '80 films do about high school. The jocks, unpopular kids and all that stuff, which I absolutely hate, but I still love to watch. I wonder if that money is actually going towards those kids. I've always been reluctant to like give money away. That's why I always just do charity, like just actually be there and do it. no way that guy hears their conversation. Unless he's like an expert at reading lips. You missed our birthday party? Asshole. I ain't gonna lie, I was mad when some people missed my birthday party as a kid. Cardigan. Is that what that is? What kind of fucking question is that? Does it matter what I do if we're all gonna die? What? What? Okay, first off, you're not even that pretty. Let's be honest. Wyona looks better than you. Way better. What? This is a weird fucking movie. I wonder where they live. I'm gonna be honest. In high school, I didn't fit in anywhere. I literally ran with every crowd you can think of. The jocks, the nerds, the geeks, the theater kids, all of them. The burnouts, the skaters, all of them. I ran with all of them. I'm so confused with what's happening in this movie. Again, I always have a saying: you can determine a word for the movie within the first 15 minutes. So it's almost 10 minutes. So we'll see. Still has time. Why would you do that? That black dude sleep. Me. That's so me. That's not funny. Like, why would you do that? Powerful click in school? Bitch. First off, it ain't real power if it can be taken. So I don't know where you got that idea from. Excuse my language. Ooh, you know, I always hate shit like this. Like just high school, like, and I love high school shit. Like I love high school shows, high school movies and stuff like that. But this kind of shit really plagues the minds of younger audiences when they watch stuff like this. So there has to be a balance. There always has to be a balance. And I feel like with a lot of these 80 movies, There wasn't any. She's just staring at him. I'm gonna revert. I'm gonna hang on to my comments until the 15-minute mark. Okay. Nothing, because the money's absolutely worthless. Okay. Later days. Why? What is the motivation behind this? What is going on? What? He threw blanks. Nigga, lock this white boy up. What is going on? What is this movie? What? No way. Oh, he'll just get suspended. What are you talking about? This movie would be a lot better if they had better actors. Sounds like a dream. Still holding my comments to the first 15 minutes. Oh, which is now. I'll wait till after this scene. I never went to prom. Maybe I should have. The girl I always really liked throughout high school wanted to go with me, but I was too blind to see it. Literally. Depressing. These white people got no problems in the world, huh? Or what is going on in this movie? There's no plot. There's no plot. I wish I would have watched this in the 80s. Like what, a full theater just to see everyone's reaction. You a military kid? Who hired this actor? He clearly got hired for his looks. There's no way. There's no way he got hired from his acting abilities. Slushy. Nothing but sugar. I low key hate this guy's voice. He would probably be like the worst voice actor in the world. And stop being their friends. That black dude wasn't your friend? What are they getting at? What is this movie about? Mhm. What? Yeah, she ain't into you, bro. I was actually talking to a woman who kind of looked like Wionna Ryder, or just that hairstyle, like makeup. She's so beautiful. Sorry. That doesn't sound like a good thing. What a weird movie. Is she even writing? Stop her from what? What? How the fuck did this film get into Sundance? Honestly. For Malcolm X? What? Alright, I have a lot to say about this film. What the fuck was that? I gotta timestamp all this shit. So I can revert back to it later. I don't understand what's happening. Why do you hate Heather? What? What? What is that? What? This feels like a film student, like a high school film student, so bad, or maybe like a college. What? Why does that matter? Not this guy and his annoying fucking voice. I can't take it. His voice is so fucking annoying. Oh my god. There's no reason why this movie is an hour and 43 minutes. I'm telling you that right now. No reason. Anything. It should be a short film. Why would they have sex? I feel like Wionna is too good for this. She's way too good for this film. Maybe this film answered my question onto why people don't take Wionna Ryder serious, or why they never really put her on that like Mount Rushmore in terms of like 80s actresses, teen actresses. It's because of movies like this, performances like this, films that were written and directed like this. So is the plot about a kid who doesn't want to be popular plots to kill her so-called friends that are popular so she can be normal? Why is this like I just don't understand how people can watch this and be like, "Yes, this is creative. Sundance. Bring it to the Sundance." I swear. Let this be a black film with this kind of plot. They would 100% reject this shit. What? I just don't understand why they're killing her. Can't you just avoid her? Like a regular human being? We all have people we don't like. The solution is not killing them. Again, I know this is a movie, right? Maybe I'm not supposed to be thinking this hard about it. But it's a movie. I would say for 99.9% of movies, you shouldn't turn your brain off. Unless they're like Marvel movies. What is going? I just don't understand it. I just don't understand. I don't know what is the biggest. I just I don't know what is the biggest thing that's hurting this movie. The plot, these actors, or the writing, which I guess is the plot. Maybe I should say the directing. I feel like this director did nothing to stand away from to separate itself from the crowd of all these 80 films that look like this, feel like this, that are literally this. Why are you even there? She's not gonna drink anything that you give her. She don't like you. Even the acting's bad. Okay, that was dramatic. Overly dramatic. How the fuck is she your best friend? This movie is so bad. Like, look at Wyona's acting. I always have a joke about Wyona because people say she went on like a crazy drug binge like at some point in time in her life, right? And that's why like Hollywood didn't want to work with her anymore. I always feel like the movies that she's in that are so crazy and kooky are not movies. They're just retellings of her life story. So this movie is clearly something she lived through in her mind that no one else knows. I still can't believe that white dude said save the speeches for Malcolm X. Like what? What? Oh my god. Why on earth would they think it's a suicide when clearly you fools are wearing shoes in a carpet room? They can clearly tell someone was there. This dude's a dumbass. Okay. Who wrote this movie? Look it up. Wrote this. Daniel Waiters. Hmm. Wait a second. Holy fucking shit. He wrote Demolition Man. Yeah, this makes a lot of fucking sense. The writing. Yeah, this writer can go fuck himself. Demolition Man is literally a plot that makes fun of the early 90s riots that happened in LA. Um, about a black man getting nearly beaten to death by the police and then walking away free. And that movie is literally mocking that entire incident because white people don't understand how the community felt after that. So it makes complete sense that this writer would also write the line of "Save your speeches for Malcolm X." This makes so much sense to me. Yeah, this writer can go fuck himself. This movie's already gonna get a bad score for me, but we're already in it, so we're gonna finish it. We have to. We have to finish it. I can't believe that guy wrote. I can't believe. Wow. Makes complete sense. What a fucking piece of shit movie. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Why would you do that? What? Why do I have a feeling whoever wrote this film, or actually, I know who wrote it. We were just talking about it. Why do I feel like the writer who wrote this film was definitely not liked in high school? You smile from that. This movie is disrespectful in all fucking forms. I had a friend in high school who killed herself, who legit committed suicide, and they had to make that announcement to the class and talk about it. And the fact that the scene is kind of making fun of that is very insensitive. Very insensitive. Again, there are movies that do talk about suicide and they joke about it and they do make it funny in that way and form, but the way this film is setting up everything in terms of how it's trying to kill its characters, mocking Malcolm X, mocking suicide and stuff like that, it's just not, one, is not funny, and two, is disrespectful as shit. This movie is hitting on so many levels of shit. So many levels. I'm convinced that all the actors who did this were desperate to get into Hollywood. There's no one. Approach Jennifer Connelly with this script. She would laugh. She would laugh at the director's face. Jesus Christ. Well, good talk, everyone. Good talk. Who the fuck? You know what? Someone who was on my podcast that I've been talking to a lot as of recently, they were just a guest on my podcast. And I told them yesterday that I'm going to watch this film. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I'm going to have a long talk with her after this. What a. Oh, okay. But again, we're going to wait for the movie to end. For I really, really go off on it. Really go off. Are y'all not going to the funeral? Empty video games? Do you think Heather spent her time at the fucking arcade? Yeah. This shit is like not funny at all. Is this not a fucking funeral? Why isn't she wearing black? I don't know. Fucking mourning a death. What are you doing tonight? Billy the Kid. What? What? What the fuck is going on? What? I want to talk to anyone who likes this movie. This is a clear, perfect example of a movie that is deemed classic because of when it existed. Perfect example. Why are we here? What? I don't. Why am I questioning this anymore? Why? It's whatever. It's whatever. Who is this guy? This whole movie has to be like a daydream or something. Is this guy like the Grim Reaper or something? I think he's the devil. Why do you even like this guy? He's so fucking weird. His voice, I hate it. It's just, I just don't know. Hey, I didn't even notice that was him. That's the actor from Well, I should know his name because he's actually been in a lot of stuff. I know him from obviously Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. He was a hotel manager. He was great in that. He's also in the Wayans Brothers TV series. Yeah, he's been acting for a long time. I had no idea he was in this. See, I couldn't. I definitely didn't notice him with those glasses on. Yeah, people are gonna talk. A sword fight? Why would the fuck would he describe it as that? Such a weird fucking movie. Why wouldn't he be? Y'all already killed before. What's another one, huh? What's another one to you? Wouldn't they die from the lack of blood? Lord have mercy. Is his finger on the trigger? What a fucking noob. Take your finger off the trigger. What a weird movie. Mineral water. What? 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 This movie's sexist too. This movie's sexist, racist. What else? Okay. I feel like there's really nothing else to say about this fucking movie. At least we're halfway through. At least. Thank God. Oh, God. Why would you shoot him in the fucking neck? You shot him in the fucking neck. I can't believe this movie got so many fucking stars. What is this shit, bro? Dude, what the fuck? Dude, are you not a jock? How do you let this guy How do you let this guy outrun you? Oh yeah, don't worry. He's unconscious. Oh, he's sleeping. Don't worry about it. I don't understand it. I don't understand this film, like, at all. What? What a weird fucking movie. Why are you touching it without gloves? Why is he running like that? And does this woods just go in a complete circle? What? Oh my fucking god. Don't know how much more I can take of this. Mineral water? This movie's homophobic too. This movie's sexist, racist, homophobic. It just keeps adding to the list. It keeps adding to the list. Oh. See, I'm singing. I'm trying to distract myself from this fucking movie. I do feel like Wionna Ryder is too good for this because she's not a bad actress. This guy, on the other hand, he's absolute shit. I should be in this movie. I could do a way better job. Yeah, you did. This movie has gone full stupid. That lady came out of the fucking nowhere. It's one hell of a thing to say. They buried him in a football helmet. Yeah, this movie is disrespectful as shit. Don't know what else to say about this film, man. I hate that I'm so silent over this, but it's just like I kind of want it to end so I can just really go off on it and give my 2 cents on like you know, on how I truly feel about this film, the writer, the actors in it, and everything else. Please end. I can't believe we're halfway through this movie. What the fuck else does this movie have to show? What the fuck else does this movie have to offer? No, your fat ass can't hide under that fucking table. I'm sorry. If anything, you'll stand out more. I apologize for that. I'm sorry. This movie is just making me mad. It's making me so angry. Oh. How the fuck did this guy get this job? Honestly, who did he blackmail to get this lead role? I almost feel bad for Wionna for being in this. I can't believe people really like this film. I don't understand it. Well, hold on. Let me check Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. I'm looking up Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see how this did. Rotten Tomato score. Okay, let's see. Audience score 83. Fresh tomato at 93%. I don't understand. I don't understand it. This one writer from the San Francisco Chronicle, who's a top critic, says 2 decades later, Heathers is so on the money with its vague but unmistakable parallels of several school shootings that it could never be made today. The fuck? Nigga, it could never be made today because it's fucking trash and no one would watch it. What is this fucking loser talking about? Let's see. This other guy says Jordan Hiller from the bangitout.com. Well, for him, just from that website alone, I already know his fucking review is going to be trash. He says, Heathers, with all its flagrant masculism and violence, is a throwback to a more innocent time where such films could be made and still be deemed over the top fantasy. What? Did you like the movie or not? Dumbass review. Okay, how about this? The Variety staff, top critic, they say a super smart black comedy about high school politics and teenage suicide that showcases a host of promising young talents. You are a fucking liar, whoever wrote that. A host of promising young talents? Even Wionna Ryder is shit in this. This main actor, this guy with the annoying voice, I can't think of a worse actor that I have seen in 2022. Or a worse performance, a more worse performance. A super smart black comedy about high school politics. High school politics? It's 1980 fucking 8. Every film that came out during that time was about jocks and cheerleaders and nerds. There's nothing political about that. Well, you could say it's political just because different class of people or whatever, but it's literally the same film as what everyone else put out during that time period. There's no way people are so... Okay, how about this? Time Magazine, Richard Corliss from Time Magazine, top critic, he says, Heathers locates the emotional totalitarianism lurking in a prom queen's heart. Why the fuck would you use that word? Let me look up this word because I don't even know what the fuck he said. Why would he use that word? What does this even mean? Political system in which the state holds total authority. You dumb fuck. Just because you use big words doesn't make you smart. It actually makes the other person smarter when they use words that everyone can fucking acknowledge. Okay, one more. Times UK. Kevin Mahler says, still shocking after 30 years. This definitive blast of teenage nihilism is strong medicine needed indeed. What? How? What the fuck kind of drugs were these critics on when they watched this movie? Here's another review. This one gave it a rotten score. He says, a pointless satire on high school co-eds acting bitchy and hanging out in cliques. Thank you. Finally, an honest review. Yeah, I truly don't understand this film. I almost hate everyone who's a part of it in terms of acting. Like, I will honestly say, just from you being in this movie, I will never watch you in anything else. I will go out of my way to make sure I will never watch a Wionna Ryder film. I will continue watching Stranger Things because I have people on my channel who want me to finish it. But as far as her movies and stuff like that go, I would never watch another one. And especially, I would never watch another film with that guy in it. Hell no. I'll also never watch a film that whatever that fuckball writer wrote or written. Do not understand these reviews. This guy says one of the best high school movies ever. I would really love to talk to this guy, Matt Bronson. One of the best high school movies ever. I I can't even respond to that. Now this guy's gonna kill himself. Why did he kill himself? Because he's fat? I don't understand. Maybe I missed something. Was he teased again? Okay. I think I understand where this film is going. I think I understand. The fuck does that mean? I picked the wrong time to be a human being. This person gave it a 9 out of 10. They can go fuck themselves. How the fuck could you possibly get that from that? What? So what? The people just thought this was like creative and different because it just shows a bunch of teenagers just dying. I wish I had a radio show. You already said your name. Tweety. Nah, there you go. Oh my god. I don't understand. I don't. Why does it fucking matter? It doesn't matter. Oh God. Here it comes. Another suicide. What a fucking stupid movie. What? What? What is this movie? A PSA now? This movie is so stupid. Whoever fucking wrote this, which again, we know who wrote it because we literally just talked about it. Whoever wrote it, whoever directed this, clearly it feels that they've never really experienced anything like this, what they're trying to make. Like they don't know anyone who's lived through that. For people who have lived through that, such as myself, of knowing people who committed suicide and has fought depression, this movie is a huge just slap in the face. As if anything we went through does not matter. Watch us make this film like, oh yeah, we're talking about it. This is we're shedding a light on mental health. But really it's fucking one, not only is it stupid, but it's just I don't want to say it's inaccurate. It's just it's ingenuous. I feel like it's disingenuous. Like what's going on now? How dare you are going to tell us that people are going to commit suicide and not show us why they're doing it and have us really dive deeper into that? Oh fucking god. I got to gather my thoughts together so I know how to cohesively or I can like articulate myself for this final closing of me going the fuck off on this movie. It almost I think I truly understand. I think it almost feels wrong to be like for other people to shit on this movie because it's like, well, it is like it's talking about mental health. It's talking about teenagers killing themselves, which we should pay more attention to. Yes, it is shining a light to that, but in such an abstinine way. Do we have to like this movie? Do we have to say it's so relatable because it barely touches on that topic? That doesn't make it good. This movie's so bad. The performances are not even good. That's like the huge part. The story isn't good. The directing isn't good. And how the fuck does this make Sundance? This clearly must have been a time where Sundance was just taking any fucking film. They're like Netflix at this point in time. What? And why did it take the film like 30 fucking minutes to even get into the topic of suicide? Ugh. This is like my worst fear, being haunted by this annoying ass white dude. Oh my god. Kill me now. Ugh. This is so weird. I'm feeling so many emotions about this movie. It's like I hate it, but I almost feel like bad for hating it because it's trying to shed a light on mental health of young teenagers. But at the same time, this shit was not needed, especially not with the story and the tone of it. Listen, there have been plenty of suicide movies that have been comedies and have been amazing, but this tone and the approach this movie took, it's just disrespectful. And it's just flat out not good. It's just not good. It feels like a fucking student film. And the fact that like, oh, well, they're talking about something deep, something depressing. Well, we'll just let it slide and say it's a good film. Uh, what is I can't believe this fucking movie is like listed as like classics of like teen comedies or teen movies. This is clearly a dream. A little bit of a Spielberg effect. A weird fucking movie. Oh, it's so cookie cutter. I think that's the word I'm looking for, in terms of it's talking about depression. First off, this movie does not talk about depression. It does not. It just doesn't even do it justice. It feels like it was just written by someone who doesn't know anything about that. It feels like it was written and directed by someone who heard on the news a kid killed themselves and they seemed like they had a promising future, and you're like, oh well, I felt sad about it, so I feel like I'm deemed enough to write this fucking film. And granted, just because you haven't truly experienced something doesn't mean you can't write about it, or you can't write anything decent or good, like good content from it. But at the same time, it just, when you've, I don't know, it just, I just know. I just feel like I know. Like, you know, when someone is not being honest with their work and they have no experience in something. When you can see it, it's there. Right? It's an hour and 23 minutes. This movie should have ended by now. Or it should have been like in its last little phase. Oh my god. This actor is so fucking bad. I can't stand him. I can't stand his acting. What is he? What else has he been in? I'm sure they're all shit. All the fucking films he's been a part of. Let's see. Okay. Christian Slater. Oh, is that his name? I feel like I've heard that name before, like in music. Let's see. What else has he been in? So far, a lot of shit that I would never watch. Nothing really that I've seen. He's in Mr. Robot, and I thought that show was fucking boring. 140 credits acting, which means he has blackmailed 140 people to get these roles. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Hard Rain. Interview with a Vampire. Yeah, I have a feeling she wasn't dead. Just because this is not fucking clever. This shit's not clever at all. The Wizard, Nick Woods. Oh, was he? He was the brother in The Wizard. Because I actually like the Wizard. Right? He was. Yeah, now I remember him. Yeah, he was the older brother. Yeah, I remember that. I like the Wizard. I thought Fred Savage was amazing in that. But obviously not him. Gleaming the Cube. Get the fuck out of here. He was in this? Wait, he wasn't the main character, was he? No way. Oh, he was. Get the fuck out of here. Well, Tony Hawk did most of those fucking stunts. A young avid skateboarder uncovers a government conspiracy while investigating his adopted brother's mystery death. What a weird fucking film. Yeah. I mean, besides the wizard, he hasn't done anything that I've really liked. Yeah, no. Nothing. Mm, whatever this climactic finale of this film is going to be, it ain't enough. Nothing can save this film, I promise you. I wonder where the crew is now. I wonder if they're still in film or whatever. Like the actual like grips, electrics, wardrobe department, all that stuff. I would love to hear some stories, or like some on-set stories of this production. It's such an indie film though. It's like I'm sure it was unionized though, depending on wherever they fucking filmed it. I'm not. I don't know where. It's '89, so maybe California. I don't know. This guy just made fucking dynamite explosives. What? Here's the thing that the film is trying to focus on, and it shouldn't, and it should be about something else. This film is obviously trying to focus on like, oh, teenagers killing themselves, da da da, and it's like so cookie cutter about it because it's not really talking about that. Where it should focus on this JD character because there are a lot of school shootings, a lot of suicides that are this guy. He fits the profile of all those kids in some way, shape, or form. Why did you say it like that? I knew it. Shut the fuck up. Excuse me. I wonder what I gotta post the graphic that I made for this movie for my podcast on Instagram. I wonder what music I'm gonna pick up put on it. I was thinking like maybe like an '80s song, but it's got to be something else, something that shows my hatred of this movie. Hey, you assaulted a woman. Why? But what is his reasoning for blowing people up? Like why blow someone up? That is a crazy thing to do. Just blow someone just the thought of that. Blow someone up? Why? No one deserves that. Is this like suspenseful for anyone? Because this shit is just like it's whatever. Why would you crawl? Whatever. Why am I? Why am I? I'm not invested. I'm not invested. Again, you crawl to get it. What a fucking weird, awful movie. You want to watch a really good movie that talks about depression and suicide and makes it in a comedy way, but really still gets to the nitty grittiness of it? Go watch Risk Cutters. There's a movie called Risk Cutters. Absolutely amazing. It's one of my favorite films. That shit came out in like what? Oh, 09 or 2010, something like that. No, probably like 09. Maybe 07. Oh my god, I think it came out in 07. Let me check out. Why aren't you killing him now? He's such a threat. Risk Cutters, a love story, came out 2006. I do like this little theme, this little musical score that's happening in the background. I like that. But I'm a sucker for musical themes. I have so much on my phone. Nigga, what makes you think they're going to heaven? Oh my god. Shoot this nigga. Come on. The fact that she's letting him speak is crazy. It's not deep at all. What? Is she not gonna press the button? Disconnect the explode. I don't care. I hope everyone blows up. I don't care. Oh, I don't care. This nigga is still alive? Whatever. He's a spirit. It's clear as day this dude's a spirit. Let me guess. They're about to ride off and sunset together while like the whole entire school explodes behind them. What? I would spend every waking moment whooping your ass. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe I should go on a binge and start watching a lot of other 80s movies to see if they're actually good. Waiting for it. Watch. I was literally just saying to myself, like, watch this shit not happen. Oh, I can't wait for this movie to end. I know it's like there. It's just like one more minute. What? Yeah, I'm sure you would, Martha. mm. Nord texted me. All right, that's the movie. Ooh, end credit song. Hold on, let me hear this if this is good. I want to Shazam this. Maybe I can use this, or maybe I should just use whatever. Whatever. All right, that's the movie. Um, it's the movie at 1 hour and 43 minutes. All right, let's give my final thoughts on this. Okay, first and foremost, this movie is absolute dog shit. This movie is dog shit. Anyone that tells you that this is a good movie is lying to you and does not value you as a human being and loves nothing but misery to you and is a pathological liar. This movie is dog shit. The acting is dog shit. Even someone like Wionna Ryder, who I do consider to be a really good actress, her performance, this was not it. This was not it. Especially Christian Slater's performance. Absolute fucking shit. Um, the story was dog shit. The directing was dog shit. The casting was dog shit. Everything about this movie was complete fucking dog shit. Now, let's really talk about why I dislike this movie. And I pretty much said this towards the miss of the movie while I was watching it, and they were doing everything to fucking piss me off. This movie is cookie cutter. This movie was clearly written by someone who has never truly experienced like true depression, suicide, uh, you know, whether it's like thoughts or like seeing it firsthand, whether it's a family member, a friend, or whatever. I've had numbers of friends growing up who have killed themselves, who have attempted suicide, who have fought through depression. I have fought through depression. This movie is just a big slap in the face to all those people who went through that journey. Because this film is trying to talk about it. And I know a lot of people feel like they kind of have this feeling deep in their gut when they watch this movie and they're like, oh well, it's trying to it's kind of giving a light to mental health. So we should at least appreciate it for that standpoint. But I'm like, no. This movie is so disrespectful towards those individuals that have really suffered. I guarantee you show this to anybody who has went through a school shooting, who has went through a family member committing suicide, a friend who has committed suicide, or you having committed or trying to commit suicide. If you were to watch this movie, you will not resonate with it whatsoever. I promise you on that. And I cannot wait to have a conversation with other human beings who have actually liked this film. And I can't wait to see why. If they pull out some type of nostalgic factor over this movie, it is absolute bullshit. Okay, what else? The writing. Holy fucking shit. So the guy who wrote Demolition Man wrote this movie. Clear as day, this is clear evidence of someone who does not understand any form of communities that they're writing about or even writing to. Demolition Man is clearly a fucking joke about the Rodney King beating and the LA riots that has happened from the Rodney King beating. And he made a freaking joke out of it. And now, since this movie came first, this man has clearly wrote a movie about suicide and made a joke about it. Now, again, I've said this before. You can have movies. There are plenty of movies. I can name a few movies that are about suicide and very about depression, and it's very dark, but they're still comedies and they're still funny, they're still charming, and they're still beautifully written, directed, and acted movies. But this is just it's even so hard to even say it. It's just disrespectful. It's completely I don't even know what to say. It's there's nothing heartfelt about this film because clearly the person who wrote it doesn't have any experience talking about this to the people that this movie is targeted for. Right? It's almost as if you get some random person off the street to sing some Kendrick Lamar lyrics to a youthful group that has lived that lifestyle and see how they resonate with them. They can smell bullshit from a mile away, and they can tell when an individual has not lived through that, experienced that. It's just as clear. It's just clear as that. Okay. Again, and I've said this in the midst of the movie, just because an individual doesn't have to truly experience something in order to write about it or talk about it, right? And they can still make good content from it. But the fact that this is not good content, this is not a good film, obviously, in my opinion, this is not a good film targeted towards people who suffer through depression, teenagers that have gone through suicide, school shootings, bombings, whatever. And it totally feels disingenuous to someone who has clearly never experienced that and have no business writing that. Makes it disrespectful. It makes it very hurtful to even be considered that this was even in fucking Sundance. I don't want, just because this movie's associated with Sundance, I couldn't give two fucking shits about Sundance films from now on. I couldn't give two fucking shits about Christian Slater films, Wionna Ryder films, whoever fucking directed this movie, and the writer, whatever they have done along the line, I will go out of my way to make sure I will never watch anything that they fucking made because of this film. That's how bad it is. And we can talk about the acting now. I don't know what the hell, what reviewer, I don't understand how this has so many stars and this and that. I honestly, you know what this is? It's a guilt trip. That's exactly what this shit is. Excuse me. The reason why people have probably favored this movie, give it 5 stars, 4 stars, whatever, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, the only reason why they did that is because they feel guilty over the people who have lost their lives over situations that are very, I guess, somewhat similar to what you see in this film. And I even felt that a little bit because I'm like really hating on this film. And I'm like, what should I hate on this though? Because it is trying to shed a light on mental health, right? Like, what kind of human being would say this movie is shit for trying to target teens to tell them to not commit suicide, right? Like, that's what I felt. But it's just so dishonest. It's just dishonest. It's shit. That's the only way I can describe it. It's shit. I want to read another review. I want to read another review to you guys, and maybe dissect it, talk about it, and just try to figure out why an individual feels like this. The fact that someone said this is one of the best teen comedies ever, or best teen movies, obviously you don't know anything about the fucking genre of teen movies. Clearly, this movie is deemed as a classic because of the era it existed in. It is clear as that. Nothing about it. Nothing about this movie makes it classic besides it literally competed against all those teen classics that were coming out during that era. Nothing else classic about this film. Okay, so I'm going to read one more. You know, I read the reviews of like critics. I'm going to read audiences' reviews if I can. Okay. This one gave it a really high score. It says, if you don't like this movie, you're wrong. Again, this is what I've talked about when it almost feels like it's such a negative thing to hate this movie because of what it's talking about, but it's dishonest. Best 80s high school movie ever? Who the fuck wrote this? Okay, this person says cult classic. A new kid at school played by, yeah, whatever. Blah 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 blah. All right, someone says this is a quite a darkly comic film. There's nothing funny about this movie. Very much a 1980s film, but the messages are still quite relevant to today's teenagers, I imagine. You imagine? That's keyword, imagine. It's all about the dark side of teenage jealousy in relation to high school. Yeah, this movie is really fucking disgenuous, and it catches, it really clings on to that cliche of 1980 films about high school and the cliques and the popularity and the nerds and all that crap, and they just throw suicide into it as if someone's like, they just saw in the news, oh, a teenager killed himself. Well, you know what, they probably were bullied, probably weren't popular, they were probably going through too much stress or whatever. It feels like it was just a guess to why these kids are killing themselves, and they just made a movie about it, targeting them. Whether they just didn't do the research for it. It's absolutely shit. It's absolutely horrible. Anyone who likes this movie has horrible fucking taste in movies. And I can't wait to talk to my friend about it because she said she really liked this film, and I can't wait to say that to her face. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this film. This is horrible. But I will say this, because this podcast is about finding an appreciation for it. And it's clear as day, you can always find an appreciation for a film that's trying to shed a light about mental health. So yes, I can appreciate that it is attempting to talk about teenagers killing themselves and depression and whatnot. But again, I promise, again, it's cookie cutter. It's so disingenuous. It's not honest. It almost dances around the actual truth of why teenagers commit suicide or why human beings themselves commit suicide. Again, show this film to anyone who has really fought those urges and see how they feel about it. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Show this movie in a high school classroom or whatever, the teenagers, and see how they react to it. I think so. I would have loved to be in 1989 when this movie came out and literally watch it in theaters with a group of people, like just a crowd, like I'm sure it did, and just see how. I just asked people like when they came out of the theater, like, "Hey, how did you feel about the movie? What did you think? The performances, all this stuff." Because it's absolute shit to me, but whatever. But all right, that's the podcast and Starfighters. I will. Maybe I should go on a binge and just start watching these 80 films that people deem as classics and really see if they're classics. But we'll see. We'll see. But until then, Starfighters, I will see you on the next one. Victory or death, Starfighters.
Victory or death!